Havel gauntlet and legs, dragon scale chest piece, dancer helm. Surprise, motherfucker, moonlight greatsword, because I'm a wizard. I'm here to cast spells and shit. I'm all about fucking moonlight and butterflies. Creepy ass music, fighting on a bridge. Welcome to Stream of Consciousness Invasions. Today, we're doing fucking Poise Wizard Edition. I've never played a wizard before. I figured now would be a good time to try. So I did, but this is not your typical fucking wizard. No, look at these stats. What the fuck kind of sorcerer puts 38 in vitality? Poise Wizard, that's who. 37 vigor, 30 endurance, and 35 intelligence, because that's plenty smart. What'd you score in your SAT? That's nice. This guy can cast orbs of living humanity with eyeballs in them that hover over his head and seek out living targets. 528 AR? Pretty good, right? Well, even better when you consider that most motherfuckers don't have 144 magic defense. 533 AR when we two-hand this motherfucker. Here's your typical wizard. He's using a thrall axe because the doctor told him he couldn't lift anything over 6 units. He's developed some kind of weird red rash, and his fashion souls is absolutely atrocious. He's wearing lopsided ears and a stupid robe. He'd love to be wearing some heavy armor right now, but he can't. Here's some other fucking genius who came up with the idea of using the Moonlight Greatsword and heavy armor, except he's not using heavy armor, he's using medium. So when it comes to poise trades, who's gonna win, guys? That's right. Discount Havel over here. Couldn't afford the helmet or the gauntlets. He's got some sweet parry skills though. Look at that. All this magic flying around everywhere. Get cheap shot, son. So, what spells I have at the moment are not the spells that I ended up using, but with this fight, I was still trying to decide between Homing Crystal Soul Mass and Affinity. I decided to go with Affinity, obviously. I just like that it hovers around. We're basically using it to force people to move. And if they come in close, we can go at them with the Great Sword. If they back off, we can just cast it again. Farron Dart is basically your Lord and Savior. It is the god of Estus Punish. When you get somebody down to, like, say, break Tears of Denial and they've got 1 hit point, yeah, Farron Dart only does like 30 damage, but it does 30 damage at 200 miles an hour. Don't believe me? Just watch. So here we see this guy. He's rolling around and he's going to cast Warmth. And he gets backstabbed by some guy who looks better than him. Out comes the wand. Type Farron Dart in the comments, and an Estus Chugger near you will be punished. Fucking rules. Poise Wizard. Yeah, this guy wants to start shit, but his host is dead. Get L1'd on. Farron Dart. Poise Wizard. It's everybody's favorite time. The time when we go under the hood, we check out what rings I've got. Ring of Favor lets me skip a couple levels of vitality and little extra hit points, and endurance never hurt. Scholar Ring for intelligence, and the 2 spellcasting ring, Young Dragon and Bellowing Dragon, so that my spells actually do a little bit of damage. Like I said, they're mostly just for utility, but they do help out. Also, all of my invader characters are level 125, so I will probably take this guy up there. At the moment, I think he's level 106, so I've still got a few levels to play around with. Most of it will, well, whatever it takes to get me to 40 vitality, so that I've got that, and I'll probably bump my endurance up for more stamina, and whatever's left will go into intelligence. This is the party that I started the clip off with. The guy hit with the Moonlight Greatsword when he came around the corner. I want to touch on something that happens here. There is a third Phantom, and he does not want to, he's standing right there. He doesn't want to gank. And he was dropping I'm sorry stones while we were fighting. And I would just like to point out that if you're playing with your friends or whoever and you're doing some jolly cooperation and you don't want to gank, that's fine. That's totally up to you. But you shouldn't feel bad for 1 minute killing invaders that come into your world or your host's world. You know, especially if you're just playing through the level, that's your job. You're supposed to kill the invaders. Now, like I said, this guy didn't want to do it. That's totally up to him. If that's how he wants to play, that's great. Get smashed, get backstabbed. Just something I wanted to point out. You shouldn't, like, he goes around and he kills the mobs in the area instead of joining in the fight, which if you want to do that, that's fine. But I just don't think people should feel bad about teaming up on an invader when there's 3 people playing through the level. I mean, if it's like a dedicated gang squad, then yeah, you should probably feel like a scrub, but these guys look like they were, you know, trying to get through the level. Our host here is using the Shield of Want and the Irithel Straight Sword. And he's wearing Ornstein's armor, and he's a pyromancer, so you can imagine how much damage anything he does is capable of. The answer is not a lot. He just switched weapons. I didn't even notice. Black Knight Greatsword, maybe? Some kind of greatsword, I think. So here we go. We got Affinity. Basically, if you wanted to, you could just cheese it. You could just spam it over and over again just to keep people dancing around. But I'm not quite that meta yet. Oh shit. Focus points. And great heavy soul arrow. The reason I didn't go with crystal soul spear was it goes through people, which is great if you hit, you know, phantoms and the host, but it's terrible if you hit other invaders. So that might be something I look into going back to, but I'm not sure. I kind of like great heavy soul arrow, even though it's slow as shit and doesn't do that much damage. It serves its purpose, which is basically just to mix up once you get people used to affinity. When they see you casting affinity over and over and over again, they'll leave themselves open for great heavy soul arrow. Also, you can hit people with it that aren't paying attention. If someone's running in a straight line, also that would work. So this guy's been password summoned. He's got a dark sword and pyromancy. I don't think his pyromancies were doing very much damage. I don't know why he keeps doing that gesture. I don't know if he feels bad about the fact that he's about to get killed by a wizard. But that's what's going down. Because I'm not going to put a video of me losing on this thing. This is a hype video. Get hype. I did lose quite a bit though, because I've never played a wizard before, so it took some getting used to with the spells and all that stuff. People complain a lot about how you have to put so much into a wizard at 120 to get it to be worth a shit, and I really don't understand that. I'm sure, like, I guess 60 intelligence probably affects get wrecked. Spells more than it does a weapon, I guess, but you know, it's like us people that use weapons, it's like we pretty much drop off the stat at 40 because everything after that's kind of not worth it. So again, with the spells being more utility based, love that lag. With the spells being more utility based, then, you know, the way I intend to win, doesn't really matter if they do shit for damage. Like I said, oh, that beautiful rolling R2 into the riposte. It's glorious. The spells, like I said, mostly for utility. If you need to kill somebody who's rolling around like a spammy idiot, Farron Dart is a great choice. Costs nothing, does very little damage, but it fires off really quick. As you saw in the first clip that I showed. Unable to summon Phantom. My 4 favorite words. Because it means you gotta deal with me for a minute. Usually by yourself. If I remember correctly, that is not the case in this particular scenario. Yeah, I get up here and I find these pyromancers just going to fucking town on this poor red spirit. So I'm like, it's cool, bro. I'll shoot spells at him, because I'm a wizard. You'll also notice I don't shoot spells when there's another invader standing in front of me, because that is stupid shit. Oh, this is the whip fight. I was actually really happy about this fight. That should have been a backstab and the end of this, but whatever. That whip, it's not a weapon that you fight a lot, or it's not a weapon I've fought a lot, but thanks to this fight, I now know how to deal with like the one-on-one cheesy ass weapon art strategy. See, people will just spam the weapon art over and over again, because Scott Jund said to, And he's not wrong. I mean, it does a shit ton of damage, and it's a pain in the ass. Look at that beautiful magic. So that's one strategy I discovered during this fight. If you walk slightly to the right and roll into it, all of it will miss you. But I found a better strategy, or one I liked a little better. And once I get this lawnmower blade out of their hands, I'll go over that. Look at all the damage they did. See, they came in thinking I was going for the heal. I wasn't. Roll out, roll in, R1. Now, we technically traded there because they started up the weapon art again, but look how little damage it does. Worth it. Hashtag worth it. I tried to do it again there, but I was out of stamina. I was just really excited that I actually found a strategy that works reliably against that stupid fucking whip. So yeah. At this point, I started wondering if you could roll in behind it and get a backstab, because the animation is fucking forever long. So it seems like once they've started it up, you would be able to. So I was going for it with rolls. Looking back on it now, oh, what's this? They want to heal. They're getting beat up. It's 2v1. And what am I doing? I'm fucking David Bowie and Queen over in this bitch. Under pressure. Fair and Dart. That's what it's great for. Just an asshole fucking spell. And oh, you hit your teammate with it? It's cool. It only did 25 damage. No one gives a shit if they take 25 damage, except for the guy who's trying to run away and heal. Anyway, what was I blabbing about before I started making Queen references? Oh, the whip. Yeah. Oh, my bad. Sweet Wilhelm cosplay. I accidentally nailed you with greatsword. It's the Moonlight greatsword. It's made out of a fucking dragon tail. It's a nice greatsword you have there. Be a shame if somebody came and just poised all over that motherfucker, wouldn't it? Yeah, I was getting curious to see if you could roll in behind the whip and get it with a backstab, because that animation goes on for so long. I never could get it, but it's something I would like to practice a little bit more. You might be able to just sprint around it if you spaced it well. You could just sprint around the motherfucker and probably go in for a pivot backstab. Oh, thought you were gonna get an R1 off, but you didn't get shit. You got Moonlight Greatsword to the face. Just lag wizard. Throwing fireballs everywhere. This is what sucks about the whip. In a chase down scenario, that motherfucker has reach for days. Should have rolled into it and attacked. But, alas, I was under pressure. And it didn't occur to me. Look at that fucking thing. It's like, at what point do you try something else? At this point, apparently, you try Karthus again. I have no Estus. I'm in a bad shape, you guys. Do you think I'll make it? Of course I'll fucking make it. Because I'm a fucking poise wizard. And all these fucking scrubby ass Karthus whippers gonna get L1'd on. Crystal weapon. Get the fuck out of here. Yeah. Poise wizard. Fuck edition. This has been Saint Riot. I'll see you guys next time.